It was my first time I saw my dad cry because it felt like he wasn't being a good father to provide the one thing that his son wanted.
I got so many DMs, and I'm not talking about the saucy ones that people become accustomed to. No. It was DMs saying, have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this clip? Have you seen this guy? And it just went on and on and on, all the way up until last night. And this guy is Booshle G.
Wow.
I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm not even making up that story.
Yo.
We
I
made
don't know
it.
why I feel so emotional being here.
Why are you emotional? Take me through, because I think people need to find out what it feels like to be an artist and to start rising slowly but surely.
When you feel so isolated, when you're writing music by yourself, when you're making content by yourself, when you are starting out by yourself, you never really see the full extent of the work that you're doing or the fruits of the work that you put in. And so when I hear this feedback, it really tugs at my heart, because it's like, what, I haven't been doing this for nothing. I haven't been doing it for nothing. I mean, for me, the only thing I know is to follow the voice of God and to do what I feel as if He's calling me to do. And whatever else happens is not up to me, but to know that it was an intentional move. No, I'm saying, like, things are happening as they're supposed to, because also how people are responding is so positive. It is so positive, and is a result of what I'm putting in. So positive in, positive out, and it just it's kind of me like looking at myself in the mirror and being like, you can, like, because I can be very hard on myself. I can be very, very hard on myself.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
You're a musician. I get it. Trust
me.
You work in this industry. Brother, man, if you weren't hard on yourself, you wouldn't be successful. That's the thing. It's like, but the thing is, when you're hard on yourself, make sure you edit that hardness to make sure that it's just tweaking to be to be of good service.
Yes.
As opposed to be obsessed with if I'm good enough.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
It's a fine line.
It's a very fine line, because you can't beat yourself up because you're looking for value. You gotta just edit some things to say, I want to be a very good servant to my community, to music lovers, and to my faith.
Yeah.
And that's all we can do.
Yeah.
You just said it so beautifully. There's a massive amount of isolation. Also, there's nothing. It's like jumping off a cliff when you release a song. You don't know what's going to be below. Are you going to hit the rocks? Or are you going to plunge and make an epic scene of this jump?
I was born and raised in Karecha, formerly known as Uteneg.
Yes.
And that's where literally from the time I was born up until probably I was 22, 23. I moved to Port Elizabeth, which is now Gqeberha.
Yes.
And it was then where my music kind of started to come alive again, because I wanted to make music when I was in high school. I wanted to do hip hop and rap. I was like, this is what I want to do. Nasty C was my role model. I was like, you know what? I love AKA. I love Casper. I love these guys. I want to be.
So you were gonna be a rapper.
I was that. That was it. I still have songs that I've hidden away. No one's ever gonna see those songs. I wanted to come to Cape Town and study sound engineering and just pursue my production and just making music. But unfortunately that couldn't happen. I remember like a week later after I was accepted, my parents called me and they were like, unfortunately we can't take you. We just can't afford it. And that broke my heart, because that was the one thing that I really wanted to do. My whole high school career was about just me wanting to make music. Academically it showed that I wanted to make music, because
when the maths came in,
it wasn't great.
Because a musician, you can't perform in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's done.
But I remember I went to my friend's house afterwards. It felt like a movie. It was my first time I saw my dad cry, because it felt like he wasn't being a good father to provide the one thing that his son wanted. And I remember storming out the house and going to my friend's house, just wanting to be consoled. I remember I went to my friends and God spoke to me through them in such a clear way. And I remember just him saying, dude, I wanted to show you what I can do with your lousy report card. I can get you to places, but I just need you to trust me first, type of thing. I remember, I will never forget this. This is what changed my life. And I remember I was like, you know what? I got you. I'm done trying. And for the next 5 years, I was extremely involved in my church. I was a youth pastor back home. I led worship. I started to learn how to play instruments within that time. And I was like, you know what, this is what I wanted. This is what I want to do. This is it. And until God says, what's the next thing? And then this is it for me. And I remember I got a job, moved to PE, and it was that moment when I moved, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's time to start now. I made contact with my one friend producer. His name is Robert Duffy. He's the one that produced These Days, and my first single, which is Find You There. And I was like, listen, dude, I don't know when, but I want to make music. A year later, we got together. We started making music. A year later, which was last year, I released my first song last year in June, and it's been. I can only say it. I can see God's hand in my life in ways that I can never explain.
Forgive me, dear parents, but we get very hectic with the academic side, with our kids, and we push. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of love behind that.
Yeah.
But I think that you can have 12 degrees if you want to, but if you don't live a life with purpose,
that's so good.
Does that really actually matter?
And that's the basis of the music that I make. For me, it's about finding identity and purpose.
Yes.
Helping people find the gold inside of them.
Yes.
Because there's gold under dirt. You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
There's something to be found in what seems to be, to be lost. Now that I'm thinking back, I'm like, wow, okay, it's been a journey. It has been a journey, and I'm so blessed to be here today.
Take Me Home, Booshle G and Zubin. Go grab that song, stream it as often as you can. When you find Booshle G on your streaming platform, you're going to see other songs there. Stream those too. Then once you stream them, I want you to go to your social media. You know, the place where you go with the Snapchats and filters and these days. Then what you do is you post that and you say, I'm listening to Booshle G.
Yeah.
It makes such a big difference to artists when you show what you're listening to your peers, your friends, your colleagues. And I feel like that's the platforms that you have earned, my friend. And we want to give them to you.
Thank you so much, Carl.